ITX board. Oh, no, no, no. Hi, welcome back to PC Builder. I'm Jason. This month we had so many amazing submissions for Boost My Build that we're gonna do not one, not two, but a third bonus episode. You submit your PC part picker list, we tear them up, put them back together, and massively boost your performance. This one I've saved all the crazy builds for. We've got Godzilla builds. We've got crazy Ryzen versus Alder Lake round 3. Maybe we'll pick a winner this time. If you get value out of the video, remember, give it a like. It really makes a big difference. And of course, subscribe and click that bell icon. That way you get notified when we release new content. With that, let's jump into it. All right, David Sutton has what I'm calling the Godzilla build. They want to build a killer gaming PC and they want to spend $6 grand on this thing. So I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta take a look at this. This is crazy. So they've already got an LG C1 48-inch OLED TV. Amazing. They want amazing 4K gaming PC. They want to do an Alder Lake i9 12900K. They've already got an EVGA 3080 Ti. They got for $1,850, and they lucked into 32 gigabytes of DDR5 5200 for $300. That's actually a good price for that memory. Those memory kits are impossible to find right now. They have a lot of requirements. So they want 4 M.2 slots. They already have 2 M.2s. They hate loud computers. They want it to be quiet. They want a sound card, a dedicated sound card. They want 4K with all the bells and whistles, and they don't care about RGB very much because the build's gonna be under their desk. Now, the one thing that I see they do stipulate in their PS is they don't want this to be a pain in the rear to put together. They want it to be as pain-free as possible. Well, let's take a look. Yes, i9 12900K. Now, if you want this build to be as pain-free as possible, I would not go Alder Lake. There are still a lot of early adopter issues on the Alder Lake platform. It's getting better day by day by day. But just like Ryzen 1000 had a lot of early adopter issues, the brand new E-Core and P-Core setup with Alder Lake continues to have issues with all kinds of small bugs here and there that are, if you're good at troubleshooting, this is great for you. If you find troubleshooting frustrating, like you just want to throw it out the window because you want everything just to plug and play and work, Alder Lake is not for you. So just consider that. Let's take a look. i9 12900K, yes, absolute beast of a processor, but comes with trade-offs in terms of heat and noise. Obviously, you're aware of that because you already put down that you're getting the Be Quiet Pure Loop 360. Very good all-in-one liquid cooler. And for the motherboard, you're going with the Asus ROG Strix Z690F. Now, I like this motherboard, but I hate the price. I said that in my Z690 motherboard overview. Fantastic motherboard, but Asus has really come out swinging for the fences on the pricing. Gouging might be a term that you would use, but if we're not concerned with the price, this is definitely a motherboard that I would consider picking up. You've got the DDR5 5200 CL38 memory kit. You've got 32 gigs of that. Great. Looks like we're going to go with a Gen 4 drive. Remember, Gen 4 doesn't necessarily benefit gaming. This is really more production workload oriented. If you have a lot of write-heavy stuff in your workload, this would be a good drive for you, but you don't need this just for gaming. The 980 without the Pro, the 980 might be a better fit. But again, if we're going best of the best, this is certainly best of the best. Yes, we've got the EVGA RTX 3080 Ti for the Win 3 card. Amazing. The case. You went with a really deluxe case. This is the Dark Base Pro 900. This is a revision 2. You like the orange one. This case can be completely reconfigured to actually have the PC on the other side. It's overall amazing, but you are going to pay the amazing price premium of $270 for it. Again, we're not so considered with price. If you're looking for price to performance, there are some better cases, I think. But if you just want the best in terms of features, that is definitely one of the best. Here's where we get into real trouble here. So you've got an 850 watt power supply. Now this unit is a good unit. However, 850 watts, I'm gonna tell you right now, is not gonna be enough. I would not consider this enough for this build. You might be able to get away with it, but this is, if we're spending all this money and it looks like you're buying this one for $163, there's actually better units that have more power that are going to be better for you for cheaper than this. Then you've got your sound card. You've got all this other stuff down here. I'm not even going to go through it. It's great stuff. For just over $6,000. So again, what are the problems I see in this build if we take a step back? I think that this build is going to be a pain in the rear, not to put together necessarily, although you got some really cool parts, but more in terms of getting it up and running, its day-to-day use. So consider that. But let's take a look at what I would do to the Godzilla build here. First of all, I think if you don't like a lot of noise in your PC and you want to keep this thing really cool, and you've already gone with a super premium case like the Dark Base Pro 900 that will fit a 420 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler, then let's get a 420 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler. Let's get the best of the best, which is the Arctic Liquid Freezer 2 420 millimeter cooler. I mean, this is pretty much, it's this, and then there's really nothing else, right? This is the best of the best. This is gonna have the best chance of keeping the thermals and the noise down for your i9 12900K, and I would certainly invest in it. And it frankly only costs about $10 more than the cooler you were looking at that's only a 360. I say only a 360, I know that's crazy, right? I would definitely take a look at getting a 1000 watt power supply. And you can right now get a Seasonic Focus GX1000. This is a gold certified. I know you went for the platinum. Here's the thing about those certifications, they're largely junk. You mostly want to focus on the quality of the unit, not so much on the 80 plus rating. The 80 plus rating doesn't mean a lot. I'll probably leave a link down in the video description to a Gamers Nexus deep dive on why that, it's not entirely junk, but it's very misleading. Let me say that. It's very misleading in terms of the quality of the power supply. I go through this in my best power supply video, but if you check out this unit on the PSU Cultist list, this is an A tier rated unit. It doesn't get any better than this. So I would recommend this. Again, gold, who cares, gold, platinum? You want the protections. If something goes wrong and it involves a power supply, you want that power supply to protect the rest of your system. And that's what this will do. It also has very low ripple in the voltage. A lot of other things that we don't have time to get into in a Boost My Build that we'll do more in a power supply video in the future. So those are the things that I would take a look at, but I want you to consider just for 1 second, Mechagodzilla, and that's a Ryzen build. So Mechagodzilla here is a more gaming focused build. I went with a Ryzen 9 5900X because I think that's all you're gonna need for the best of the best in terms of gaming performance. If you wanted to go with a 5950X for like $100 or $200 more, you certainly can. I know right now in some locations you can get the 5950X for like $620, which is a stupidly good price. I decided to stick with the Arctic Liquid Freezer 2 420. Why not? Because it seems like you really like this case. I don't want to take this case away from you. It's a phenomenal case. You really like it clearly, so let's stick with that. For the motherboard though, you wanted 4 M.2s. There are a number of X570 and even B550 motherboards that actually have that many M.2s. One of them that I like, and is not like crazy priced, is the MSI X570S Carbon Max Wi-Fi. This is one without one of those silly little proprietary fans. That's the X570S chipset. It's X570, but the S stands for silent. They simply removed that stupid little fan down here on the chipset. So many of those have failed, by the way, so I'm just so sorry for those people who were early adopters of X570 are now cursing that stupid little fan that's failed. You can get 4 M.2s on this, great audio codec, it's got Wi-Fi, it's got everything that you can need. Now, the one thing you're gonna need to do in this build, of course, is you're gonna need to return your DDR5 memory or sell it on eBay for $1,000, probably more like $2,000 at this point. You could probably actually help finance part of the cost of the system by reselling that. I hate to encourage that behavior, but if you're stuck with a memory, you're stuck with it. You got to get rid of it somehow. And I decided to go with a G.Skill Ripjaws 4x8GB DDR4 3200 CL16 kit. It's about $164. You can find some other kits in there for less than $200. And I just decided to stick with the Seasonic Focus GX, same power supply. You could come down to 900 watts, but frankly, this is a good deal right now. I would stick with that. Overall, we can do this for a little bit less than your total. We did this for $5,700. Use the extra $300 to go out and buy a bunch of games for yourself. And honestly, if you want something that's gonna plug and play much easier, you're not going to have the same level of headaches. This is something that I would consider. Urian Drop-Off, their main use, 1080p high FPS gaming, and they want to do light Blender work, but they've only got $1,350 USD for the budget. Luckily, they have already bought the SSD. Let's see what you've got, Yuri. You're going to go with a build that's, oh, you're already a little over budget, $1,379. Let's see what we've got. 5600X, that's fine. Okay. Then we've got a B550 ITX board. Oh, no. We're spending a lot of money here on a small form factor. What case do we have? That's because this is like the NZXT virus that gets into people's brain. I like NZXT as a brand, but people just get like overly focused on these cases. And I can see that the virus has gotten in your brain. You want to go with the H210 Mini. This is a great ITX case. I really like it, but I would not recommend it to somebody who's trying to get a lot of of performance on what is in this market a relatively small budget. So that's a challenge right there. Now I can see where we've made some performance compromises. First of all, you're using the included stock cooler. If you're going to do long duration blender, I would get more cooling than that for the 5600X. You're losing performance. Your PC, the CPU is not going to be able to boost to the same speeds. And the other compromise you're making is you're only getting 16 gigabytes of fine memory, DDR4 3600 CL18, but we only have 16 gigabytes on it. Blender recommends 32 if you're going to do higher end workloads. Now, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just going to do this once in a great while, and this is just a 1080p gaming build. But your bigger problem here is you don't know how to get a graphics card. Any GPU I can get my hands on. Oh no. Remember, the GPU should be the number one thing you get in this market. You should not buy anything else until you get that GPU because you don't know what you're going to pay for it. You don't know what kind of bundle you're going to need to buy it in. I would get the GPU first and then construct the rest of your build around the GPU. It's actually not that different from how we used to do this for gaming builds. Then we've got an overpriced power supply. This is probably just a function of the market. It's a good power supply, but right now it just seems like overpriced to pay for this. And then you've got the Gigabyte G24F, which is, I see a lot of people adding this monitor in. Looks like you've locked this in for Newegg, so I know you can get things from Newegg US, and that's good because that's how we're gonna get you a graphics card. Where do we start? Well, you want to do Blender work. I'm going to get you a better processor with an actual cooler that will get the most out of that processor. And we're going to get you 32 gigabytes of memory with a decent enough graphics card to actually do this work. And we are going to have to sacrifice a couple things like this small form factor build, but we're going to focus number one on performance and number two on aesthetics. So let's see what I've got. Here we are for $1,336. Again, $14 under your budget and $40 less than the build that you put together. Here's what we've got. The Ryzen 7 5800X. For some reason, PC Part Picker is not pulling the prices incorrectly, so I just automatically put in $340. That's what you're getting it off Amazon. You can get it cheaper at Micro Center if there's one near you. Phenomenal CPU, and we're going to make sure that thing has enough cooling so that when you're doing these longer duration Blender workloads, you can really let that CPU just hum. You may even be able to heavily overclock that with the Scythe Fuma 2. This is just a phenomenal high-end cooler for a budget price at $59. Now, how are we doing this? Well, we're getting you a graphics card and motherboard combo from Newegg. Since again, I know you can get stuff from Newegg. Right now, for $574, we can get a Power Color Fighter Radeon RX 6600. That's an 8 gigabyte graphics card with it's not the greatest motherboard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a B550 DS3H, but it's going to perform fine for what you need. And again, $574 all told. There's a number of these combos at Newegg. I'm not going to go through them all here, but really in this market, this is currently your only real option. There will be some budget GPUs launching in the first part of 2022, but we would like something with at least 8 gigabytes of VRAM. I love an NVIDIA card here, but you just can't seem to find one right now with the way that they've cut back production in the fourth quarter. That'll probably continue into the first and maybe even the second quarter of next year. So that's why I'm recommending this combo to you. So we've got the B550M DS3H. We're going to get that for $90. And then the graphics card is the 485. You put that together, that's $574. So we are going to get you more performance though. We're going to get you G.Skill Ripjaw 32 gigabytes, so there's a 2x16 gigabyte DDR4. Now we're going to slow the memory down so that you can get more performance out of it. DDR4 3200 CL16. There's no reason that you need faster memory. We want more of it. Now, if we could afford faster memory here, we'd get it, but you can't afford that on your budget. So I think it's more important to make sure that we clear the hurdle of the amount of memory that we need. You've got your SSD. We're just using a case that's on sale over at Newegg right now, Cougar MX331 Mesh. I happen to like this case. Very good for budget builds. One thing I really like about the Cougar cases is they tend to have 4 USB plug-in slots up here. So this is great if you're doing a lot of production work and you're plugging things in. The one drawback is they usually only come with one fan in them. So we are going to add in 2 Arctic P12 fans. Arctic makes some amazing fans and they're dirt cheap. $7 for these fans is an insane price to pay. And this is going to provide a lot of airflow for that system. The power supply, I just simply went out and found, because we don't really need 650 watts for this. 550 is absolutely fine. I just went out and grabbed an affordable unit on the C tier or better of the Linus Tech Tips. Actually, it's not the Linus Tech, it's the PSU Cultist tier list now. They've come off the Linus Tech Tips forum. You know, you can find a lot of these deals out there right now where you buy it for $50 and you get like a $30 mail-in rebate. There's a ton of them. And the Corsair CX 550 watt 80 plus bronze unit that I would recommend getting. We're going to stick with your monitor, but overall, for $1,336, we have given you a massive upgrade on the CPU, a massive upgrade on the cooler to get more out of your CPU. We've given you an actual graphics card you can buy right now, and we've given you 32 gigabytes of memory for any kind of Blender need you have. And this thing is going to be still a great gaming PC at 1080p high settings. Nikita 73, so they're hoping on 80 plus FPS, 1440p gaming on Apex, Warframe, Forza Horizon 5, Warzone, and a CPU cooler is needed since it gets really hot during the summer. They love their case, but go ahead and change it. Let's just see what they've got here. Their budget is $1,800. They can go up to $2,000, and they do like some RGB. So let's see what they've got. Okay, this is interesting. We've got our Ryzen 7 3700X for $329. That's interesting in this market. Then we've got a B450 Tomahawk. I can see that you've got kind of a grasp of which parts go together, but we're not all the way there yet, because that's definitely not a motherboard that I would have picked for this. Then we've got Team Force Vulcan 2x18. This is DDR4 3200 CL16. That's perfectly fine so far. You've got a drive that I would not buy necessarily as a boot drive unless I was super strapped for cash, and it doesn't seem like we're there. That's the Kingston A400. I would use this more just for dirt cheap storage, and frankly, the price on SATA drives is such that I wouldn't even really consider them right now. I'd look M.2 for sure. Then you've got a 2 terabyte regular hard drive. You're gonna pay $845 for an RTX 2060. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yikes! And then we've got a great case, Pure Base 500DX. I really like this case. A lot of people like it. I can see that you like the all white in it. It's just got a nice amount of RGB to it. You also really like Be Quiet, because I see you're going for their System Power 500 watt power supply. That's a lot of money, $100 to spend on that. And that's because some of these Be Quiet systems, they're not really well priced in the US. They're much better priced in European markets. You're going to pay $140 for Windows 10. I'm just going to leave that one to the side. We'll just consider it part of the budget if that's the way you want to go and you feel comfortable with. Okay, so some challenges here. Number one is that, 3700X for $329 just for gaming. I wouldn't do that. You can get for $340, you can get a 5800X. Then we've got the B450 Tomahawk. Again, some challenges there because you're losing out on PCIe Gen 4 and you're not really gaining anything. That's kind of a mediocre motherboard. It's always been a mediocre motherboard. It tells you how bad the B450 motherboards that everyone considered this such a great motherboard, the B450 Tomahawk. Everyone liked it because the VRMs were rock solid, but it had mediocre audio, mediocre other features on it. And frankly, for $115, you can get a much better B550. The B550 boards are leagues better than the B450s. And then of course, I think we could fix your storage, and we got to figure out your graphics card situation and get you a better power supply. Let's see what we got. So here's where I went with this. For the graphics card, let's start there because I think that's going to be the sticking point. If you want higher refresh rate gaming at 1440p, you need to get at least an RX 6700 XT or something like an RTX 3070. 3060 Ti would probably also do the trick. Now, if you want to go off eBay, I think right now you can get a 3060 Ti for like $900-ish. 3070s are more like $1,100. So I've gone with something that you can get from an actual retailer at Newegg. I went with the XFX Radeon RX 6700 XT. It's $1,000. Now, yes, it hurts to pay this much for a GPU, but if you're going to build something in this market, these are the realities, right? So we're going to go with that. Now, they do have some motherboard combos with these at times. I'm just going to go straight with this. We're going to go with the Ryzen 5 5600X. You could decide to build Intel 10th or 11th gen here instead. Maybe try and save a little bit of money. For a cooler, I went with the Cooler Master Hyper 212. It's on sale right now for $30. That's a great price for it. It looks phenomenal. We went with the Gigabyte B550 Aorus Elite. It's $150 right now, but really you could get any of the tough gaming B550 or the Asus ROG Strix, those kinds of B550s. They're all very, very good. They've got the better audio on them for about $130 to $160. Memory, we went with the same kit you had, 16 gigabytes of 3200 CL16 kit. Storage, we kept your hard drive, but we massively upgraded to an M.2, and we gave you 1 terabyte of total storage here for $83. Not a lot more. You were going to spend $50 on 480 gigabytes for $33 more, right? We basically doubled the storage and significantly increased the speed of it. And then I stuck with pretty much everything else you had, except I got you just a better priced unit. Right now, power supplies are relatively cheap in the US. Just make sure that you find a good unit using the PSU Cultist list. Again, go back through my how to buy a power supply to show you how to do that and how to size it. But this is a Seasonic Focus. This is a gold unit. And then I did stick it out with your Windows, but however, I came down to just the Windows Home Edition. You don't need to spend the extra $40 on the Pro just for a gaming PC. I also threw in a couple extra PureWings 2 fans for you. You know, I know you like this case. However, it only comes, I believe, with 2. So I just wanted to populate that case with more fans. Overall, though, for $1,950, we're still below your stretch budget. We're going to get you significantly more performance than you were going to get with that poor RTX 2060 card. So your build is boosted. If you get value of the video, give it a big like. It really makes a big difference to the channel. Thank you for joining us for episode 3. If you missed any of the other episodes, I'm going to include the entire playlist right here. You can check it out. You can just binge watch Boost My Build all night long. Check it out, and I'll catch you on the next one.